Hi everyone, Archive here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the sneakiest of all the classes, the Rogue. I'll be going over the class features and what are some of the best racial choices, and of course, what choice of subclass you have to pick from. But with all that said, let's move on to the video. Some people say this is a job for a fighter, but they never see the traps coming. Others say leave it to a barbarian. They can withstand all the traps. You rock. But when it comes to handling a lock, they have no clue. No, there is only one class built for this life. And that's me. The Rogue. The Rogue is a deadly and cunning assassin that thrives on taking advantage of your enemy's vulnerabilities. They are fast and dexterous fighters and are a master of stealth and have real potential for dealing massive damage. Due to their versatility in and out of combat, this makes them a very useful class to have around in all situations. When I think of well-known characters in pop culture that could inspire the next Rogue build, I think of characters such as Arya Stark or even Han Solo or the myth, the legend himself, the Dark Knight, as these possess a lot of roguelike qualities. In early access we have two of the Rogue subclasses, these being the Thief and the Arcane Trickster. Although you don't get to pick these until level 3, the reason I bring it up here is because it is a good idea to have in mind what you are wanting to pick, due to needing to think about your ability scores. But more on that later in the video. One of the Rogue's features is called Thieves' Cant, I think I'm saying that right. Due to the years of the Rogue's training, the Rogue is able to understand and use a secret dialect / code. At the start of the game, your Rogue will start with a 1d8, meaning you will start the game with a minimum of 8 HP. After that, each level you gain, you will roll an 8-sided dice, add your constitution modifier and add the total to your current hit points. When looking at a Rogue's proficiencies, they are proficient in light armor, simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers and short swords. They also have proficiency in dexterity and intelligence saving throws. As a Rogue, you also get to choose 4 additional proficiencies from the list shown. Now let's take a look at the ability scores that works best for the Rogue. Like I mentioned earlier, when thinking about where to place your ability points, it is really important to have a plan and have a good idea what subclass you want to pick, as this will affect your choices later down the line. With that said, your first pick, no matter what path you decided to go down, should always be dexterity, as this is where your damage comes from and what affects your primary modifiers. Constitution is always a strong second pick, as it will help with your HP and is especially helpful if you're going down the Arcane Trickster route, as it will help maintain concentration on certain spells. As for your third choice, this is where knowing what subclass you want really helps, as it will help you decide what to invest in next. If you pick the Arcane Trickster, then you might want to consider intelligence, as this will affect your spells modifiers. But if you're going down the route of the Thief, then you want to consider wisdom. As for the other stats, you can consider these your dump stats, meaning that they are not really that important, and you should really just be picking them based on how you want to roleplay your character. Let's move on to what race suits the Rogue best. Like always, I'm going to start off by saying there's no real right or wrong race to pick from, but there is always ones that will give your character a better starting point. Starting off with the Elf. The Elf makes a good first choice, as they give you +2 to dexterity right from the start. You also gain the ability Keen Sense. This will give your Rogue proficiency in perception, making your Rogue all the better for spotting them traps. You also gain Fey Ancestry. This gives the Rogue advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and all magic effects can't put you to sleep. You also get Dark Vision, allowing you to see up to 12 feet in dim light. Depending on what subrace you choose, you can customize your Rogue even better. If you choose the High Elf subrace, this allows you to travel 9 meters per turn, and you also get +1 to intelligence, making them the perfect choice for an Arcane Trickster. Or you can pick the Wood Elf subrace. This gives you a base walking speed of 10.5 meters, also proficiency in stealth, and a +1 in wisdom, making them perfect for the Thief. The Drow also makes a good alternative choice for the Rogue, as it gives you a +2 to dexterity and a +1 to charisma. They also give you Fey Ancestry, but another great reason to pick the Drow is that they give you superior dark vision. This allows you to see 24 meters in the dark. You also get the spell Dancing Lights. This will light up an area within a 12 meter radius where you cast the spell. But my personal favourite is the Halfling, especially when you consider the sub-race Lightfoot Halfling, as they give you a +2 to dexterity and a +1 to charisma. You also get advantage on all stealth checks due to the Lightfoot's natural stealthy ability. But best of all, you get the lucky ability. This allows you to re-roll dices when you roll a natural 1 for attack rolls, ability checks or saving throws, but just keep in mind you must use the new roll. Let's move on to levels 1 through 5, as this is the levels we can reach in Baldur's Gate 3 at time of recording. At level 1 you are able to choose 2 of your proficiencies, or 1 of your skill proficiencies alongside with your thieves tools. You then get to double them for any checks using the chosen ones. But best of all, level 1 comes with the rogue's most iconic ability, this being sneak attack. This allows you to deal an extra 1d6 damage once per turn, but just keep in mind that there are certain conditions you must fulfill to get the extra damage. These being, you must be using a finesse or ranged weapon, and you must have advantage on your next attack, or you must have an ally that is within 5 meters of your target. Another thing to note about sneak attack is that the damage increases as you level up. At level 2 you unlock cunning action. Due to the rogue's agility, you are able to use your bonus action for the following actions whilst in combat. These being dash, this allows you to move an extra 30 feet. Disengage, this allows you to move away from an enemy without provoking an opportunity attack. Or even use the hide action. The hide action is particularly good because if you are hidden, this will give you advantage on your next attack, which then will trigger your sneak attack. At level 3, your sneak attack ability gets an upgrade, whereas before you rolled a 1d6 damage, you now get to roll 2d6, allowing you to put out even more damage. But level 3 is when you get to pick your rogue archetype. Let's look into these in a little bit more detail, starting off with a thief. The thief spends their time mastering and honing their skills in all of the criminal areas, but like to think of themselves more as treasure hunters and not criminals. Because of this, you get additional improvements in agility and stealth, and are able to read unfamiliar languages. You also get the ability to use magic items you normally couldn't. At level 3, the rogue also gains the ability Fast Hands. This allows them to use cunning action to use their bonus action to perform certain acts in combat. Bear with me, that was a lot of words at once. These being dexterity checks, so things like sleight of hands, using their thief's tools to disarm traps or open locks, or you can even take the use object option. You are also able to jump greater distances as you are able to jump the number of feet equal to your dexterity modifier. Now moving on to the arcane trickster. While some rogues like to own their skills naturally, there are some that like to turn to the arcane magics and learn spells that either enhance their skills and tricks, or allow them to master some illusional magic. At level 3 you gain the ability to cast spells from the wizard spell list. With this you gain 3 known cantrips, but one of them must be Mage Hand and the others 2 should be any that you wish to choose from. You also gain 3 spells known, but keep in mind you must pick 2 of them from the wizard enhancement and illusion list. Like at level 4 for all classes, you get the choice between either an ability score improvement or a choice of a feat. In my opinion, taking +2 in dexterity is always a good choice, as this is your main ability score. Starting at level 5, you get the ability known as Uncanny Dodge. This allows you to use a reaction to half the attack damage against you when you see the attacker. You also get another upgrade to your sneak attack damage, allowing you to roll 3d6 instead of 2d6 on a successful sneak attack. And there we have it, the Rouge class summed up from levels 1 through 5. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to help me out and hit the like button and consider subscribing. Now for the question of the day, will you be playing the Rogue on day 1? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next episode of Baldur's Gate 3. Bye!